Hey guys, Griffin here. Today, Gala Games has miffed me yet again with their new honor system that they have published and released into the wild. I don't understand how a team of 4 economists can come up with something that is so economically horrible. So we're going to talk about it. The way that the honor system works requires a math degree. This idea not selling their silk. If they put it back into the in-game store to buy more tanks, or they use it to purchase upgrades, then that's totally kosher. But if they take it out of the ecosystem and try to sell it on Ethereum, then they get penalized for that in the form of not receiving as many future rewards. So it kind of scales based on how honorable it thinks that you are. Sell a little bit and not have too much of a penalty, but if you sell a lot, then you get like a ridiculous penalty. I think that this is a huge mistake, and if Gala, you're watching, revert this. Like, it is hot garbage and fire all your economists. That's my hot take, but I think that this is honestly horrible and does not accomplish what they are intending it to in the slightest. Players get honor by playing the game. If you have more money invested in the game, you get more honor. They're trying to set it up so that it's a tiered system, right? And people who spend the most on the game then get to earn the most and then continue to spend more in the game without ever extracting any value. If you want that as a model, why are you setting up arbitrary economic systems around it? If you want people to play your game and spend money on it, make the game enjoyable, and then people will spend money to play it and get good and earn these rewards, and then they will continue to put them into your ecosystem. You don't have to write a 6-page document that details how players are not allowed to withdraw from the system and continue earning. So you also get rewarded for bringing silk into the system. If you are going to purchase silk on the open market and you bridge it into spider tanks to use in the game, you can actually increase your honor. So as long as you're selling and buying a proportionate amount of silk that goes back into the ecosystem, then you're okay. This is to allow users to continue to earn rewards as long as they're only spending it on the in-game shop. This just reminds me of the coal miners that used to go out and have to buy at the company store on their low wages in order to continue coal mining. It's entirely a scheme that doesn't need to exist. It's actively hurting players, because if you are not allowed to extract value out of the system without losing your ability to earn, why would you ever come back? If you can just take all of your winnings out at once, you will never return to play this game, because then you will have lower rewards than if you had just stayed. So really all this is incentivizing is users to completely remove themselves from the economy at the point where they feel like they've earned enough from it. And that isn't helping anyone, because then those assets have to go onto the open market, and essentially we're just causing an economic collapse if everybody does this all at once, because they're seeing asset values collapse for everything that they have, because you're telling people to hoard everything like a dragon, which is bad for new players, because then they're not able to actually participate in the game and earn this silk that is being paid out because it's proportionate to how much is in the system. And it's also bad for them because then you have these heavily inflated asset prices because supply is so low, because people have just hoarded all of these assets, and then when they go to dump, it completely opens the floodgates and destroys the value of everything that they've created. And then more silk gets released into the economy because there's less silk being spent, and it's a vicious cycle that eats at itself. I don't understand how they don't see this as a problem. Not to mention that you have to have a PhD in astrophysics in order to read this paper and understand it. Spider Tanks is such a simple game. I don't understand why they have to have all of these massive economic decisions that control such a simplistic game. The people that you're trying to attract to this game should be people that want to play it, not economics experts that are trying to game the system. And in order to actually participate in this play to earn economy, you have to be an expert in order to understand all of this, or else you're going to get burned, you're not going to understand what's going on, and then you're just going to walk away. Why would you put any money in this game if you have no confidence that it won't just collapse at any moment because people are hoarding all of their items? And so here at the bottom, they give out some examples of like how they expect this to work. So you're just getting paid out silk to your Geary wallet, and then you can use it in the in-game store, and then if you bridge out, sometimes you can get it back as long as you do it within a day. It's very convoluted. None of that really matters, because the fact of it is, this makes me not want to invest in spider tanks. This white paper right here. This system is actively making me want to sell, because A, it's very complicated, and B, it disincentivizes new players and it makes players who are already existing in the ecosystem want to leave. Both of these are very bad. I hope that Spider Tanks comes to their senses and Gala is able to rectify this problem. Without complete removal of the system, I'm not going to be putting any more of my money into Spider Tanks. I mean, judging by the amount of people that bridged out last night, causing the price of silk to drop almost 50% in an hour, I would say that I'm not alone in that sentiment. And now all those people who bridged out silk are affected by this honor system and are not going to want to come back. So we've just lost half the player base, roughly, if I'm correct. What a huge missed opportunity here. I really think that Spider Tanks is a fun game. I just wish that they wouldn't have ruined it with these arbitrary economic constraints to try and get people to not bot the game or just make the game more exciting, and then you won't have to worry about these problems in the first place. That's, I think, what everybody is missing when they're trying to design these economies, is that they're either too simple or they're too complex. And this is an example of where it is overly complex for no reason. Capital controls like this have never worked in any economy ever. Why would you instantiate it in a game? Where you don't, it's optional to participate. You're not forced to play this game, unlike participating in your local economy where you actually have to participate in order to live. You don't have to play this game. So I just have no idea why they implemented this, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So I want to hear your opinions in the comment section down below. I'm interested to see what you guys think of this, if you think I'm right or if you completely disagree with me. I'm really interested to see what you guys think on this one. Leave a like if you learned something, but that's all I got for you. And if you're tired of failing Web3 economies, please check out this video on screen here, and it'll show you what I think the future of Web3 gaming holds, as well as how to fix some of these problems that we're currently seeing with popular games that have failed, like Axie Infinity. Thanks, I'll catch you in the next one.